All right. Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to our family room today. We are so glad that you have decided to join us and be here with us once again as we have a 15-minute talk. Carlito, how are you? Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. How are you? Well, I am doing well also. I'm excited about today. You're excited about today? Yes, very much so. Okay, and why are you so excited? Because we talk about love. Oh, okay, love. So, have you been in love, Pastor Chilo? Actually, I'm in love now. Really? You're in love? Oh, awesome. Well, yes, I am in love with this beautiful woman, my wife. Oh, wow. Yes, is she beautiful? Well, you've seen her. Oh, she is. She's gorgeous. You're a very blessed man. Well, thank you very, very much. But also, we can also know that God loves us as well. Yes, I love that. I love to hear that. Yes. And you know what? Love is an important thing. And this month is the month that they call the month of love. Ooh, I like it. Yes, love, friendship, all that good stuff. So, today we're going to hit on that topic here on our series on emotional intelligence. So, we hope that you enjoy this time together and that the whole family is there. Remember, this is a collaborative project that we have together with Family Ministries here at the North American Division. And so, Pastor Dr. Consuegra and Pamela Consuegra, both of them will be telling us a little bit about this topic. Then, after that, we're going to have Sherry, who's going to show us some wonderful activity to do. One thing I need to tell you is make sure, if you can, look for red paint, look for a rock, look for a marker, and a paper plate, okay? So that you will be ready for the activity. Don't forget, red paint, get a rock, any size rock, wherever you can find it, get a paper plate, and get a Sharpie marker as well. You're going to enjoy what she has in store for all the boys and girls in the whole entire family. So, without going any further, yes, can we start now? I want to hear what Dr. Consuegra have to say. Okay, well, let's go ahead and pass it along to Doctors Consuegra with what they have for us today. It's all yours.
Hey, thank you, Pastor Jerry and Carlito. 2 days ago, we celebrated our 43rd Valentine's. Well, we've been married almost 40 years, plus the 3 years that we dated. So 43 years we've been celebrating our Valentine's. It is a special day to remember the love that we have for one another. You know, the Bible tells us, Jesus, in fact, taught his disciples, he said, I give you a new commandment that you love one another. And the reason he said that was not that we should just simply feel love, but rather to act lovingly toward one another. That's something that children learn with time. At first, they feel the love of their parents, at least you would hope they do, but then later they begin to identify those feelings in themselves. And part of the value of that is that it helps children, especially if you have more than one, to also solve some of their conflict when they realize the love that they have or should have for one another. So that's why we want to talk about love tonight, because it helps you and helps children understand the value of love, yeah, in family relationships.
So, how do we teach our children love and compassion and care for others? Well, one way you can do it, moms and dads, is teach our children to have a we mentality versus a me mentality. You know, if we're not careful, our children can be so self centered and focused on what they want and what's best for them. So let's teach our kids that the family really is a team and we work together within that family unit. It's not just about one person, but it's about what we can all accomplish and do and experience together as a family unit.
You can also teach your children positive ways to work through conflict and to work through arguments, to work through difficulties. By positive ways, I mean, you don't just simply yell at them and say, stop yelling, stop fighting, because that doesn't help. Rather, hey, how can we solve this situation? How can we manage the differences between the two of you in a way that's actually good for you? And it's also good for the family. Help me to help you work through this difficulty. That's one way of saying it, instead of just simply yelling at him and telling them to get along.
And here's another idea. We need to recognize, encourage, and affirm the talents that each individual family member possesses. One of your kids may be great at math and they may bring home straight A's in math, but your other child may be really great at doing artistic things and drawing or creating. Another may be great and excel in sports or the sciences. So recognize the individual gifts and the uniqueness about each child and affirm that. That's teaching your children a very important lesson about loving others.
Now, we're going to talk to you parents right now. This is very important, especially those of you who are married. And if you're not married, if you're divorced, well, this is important for you too. Never speak poorly about the other parent. So maybe you had an argument with your spouse. Don't talk negatively about them to your children. Don't say, well, your mother's going crazy or your father doesn't know what he's talking about. If you're not married, if you're divorced, that's also very important. If you badmouth your spouse, they are going to actually begin to dislike you for doing that to their other parent. Even if they have differences or difficulties with their other parent, they still love them. So don't talk bad about them. And if you're married, guys, don't talk bad about your spouse, your wife, or your husband, because your children hurt when you do that. And by the way, you're also teaching them a very sad lesson that when you don't get along, then you can badmouth the other person.
Here's another one. Establish a routine of having dinner together every day as a family. Well, what does that have to do with teaching your children how to be more loving and caring? Well, think about it. Around the dinner table, we have conversations as a family. Put away technology and make sure that your dinner table is a no technology allowed zone. Talk with each other. Show kindness, affirm each other, talk about the successes of the day, talk about the challenges of the day, and pray with each other. Having dinner together as a family is one of the most important ways and greatest things that you can do to teach your children how to speak lovingly to each other, how to listen, and how to affirm each other.
And here's something that I actually learned from my wife many, many years ago. Teach your children to say, I love you. When you finish a conversation, when they go to bed, when they go to school, always teach them to say, I love you. In my family where I grew up, that wasn't a practice. Now we knew we loved each other. We felt that love from our parents. It just wasn't a practice. So when I met my wife and saw that they did it in their family, I liked it. And so we have been doing that for the 43 years that we've been together. And we continue to do it with our daughters. Every time that we hang up the phone, every time that we say goodbye, we always tell each other, I love you. You're teaching your children to say it on a regular basis because it's important for them to say it and therefore to feel it.
So once again, parents, remember, model it, teach it, and encourage loving actions in your home. And remember, if you want your child to show love and care outside of the home, it starts first in the home, within that family unit. Well, we're going to go now to Miss Sherry and see what Miss Sherry has to share with us. So kids, are you ready?
Hey kids, it's good to be here today. And yes, I am like Carlito, very, very happy that this is the week of love, or this is the month of love, talking about love. And I just want to say, hey kids, if you talk to somebody or in your own home, list 5 things that you are grateful for and just mention them out loud, then you're encouraging love in your family. And so what I like to do is I'll take a paper plate and I'll just go around like a detective and I'll write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have my numbers written on there. And then I'll just start listing all the things I am grateful for. I'm grateful that my mommy makes good cookies. I'm grateful that my dad shovels the sidewalk when there's lots of snow at our house, and on and on. And then mention those to your parent or your sibling. Talk about it in your family, and it'll encourage those feelings of love. Well, I have an activity that we're going to do. Carlito mentioned that we needed some red paint. We needed a marker. Can you almost guess what we're going to do? We need a rock and then another paper plate that I've squeezed off a little bit of red paint. Now I squeezed off a little too much, so I had to scrape some off. But we're going to make some love rocks. Do you see them right here? They are so simple. Let me show you how we're going to do it. Oh, and I also have a little wet wipe right here and my paper towel. Well, I have lots of rocks to choose from. I can choose this one or this one, and I think I'll choose the bigger one. So I'm going to use this one right here. First of all, with my finger, I'm just going to take a little bit of paint on my finger, just like this. And I'm going to take the rock and I'm going to put it on one side and then the other side. What did I just make? A wonky little heart, but that's okay. But it's a little heart. Now I used my wet wipe to wipe off the red paint from my finger, and it came right off. I'm going to put some little legs on this little heart. Do you see the legs right there? Blow it. See if it'll get dry so we can put the face on it. There, and I'm going to put some hands that are waving. Let's see, there we are. There, my heart is, oh, this one just doesn't, this almost looks like an arrow. I'm going to just make it a little bit there. There we go, like that. And it's not quite dry enough. So I'm going to show you my other heart that I just put some little eyes, a nose, and a mouth. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to leave it at somebody's house on my way, walking on my way, or maybe I'll leave it in one of the bedrooms and one of my family members will find it just to say, I love you, because that's what the heart is all about, isn't it? I love you. And that's what we can do to show love in our family, is to leave little signs all over the place that we love our family or we love our neighbors. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to do several of them and leave one for each of my neighbors on either side of me. Well, thank you for being with us today. I look forward to hearing about the rocks that you paint.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
I look forward to hearing about the rocks that you make and where you're going to leave them. So next time you can put it in the chat. I made a heart rock and I left it, and you can tell us where. We'll see you later. Bye for now.
Wow, that was so cool. That was so cool, wasn't it? Yes, I really love it. Can we go get rocks right now? You want to go get rocks? Yeah, we definitely can go get rocks. Do you have red paint? Yes, we'll get some red paint as well. I can't wait to make a heart. I want to make a heart. Can I sing? Can I sing? Oh my goodness, you want to? I don't know. We have to please. I don't know. We have to please. Okay. I want to sing because I'm in love.